Imagine this. It's a Wednesday morning and you're about to onboard a new developer, and you realize your documentation is everywhere. AI specs buried in some random Google Doc from 6 months ago. Setup instructions scattered across 3 different Slack threads. And your company handbook? Nobody even remembers where that lives anymore. Sounds familiar? Allow me to help you save your sanity in this video. Here's what most teams deal with every single day. You've got that new hiree sitting there wide-eyed and ready to contribute. But instead of being productive, they're playing detective. They're hunting through endless folders, asking the same questions over and over again. And honestly, they're probably questioning if they even made the right choice joining your team. Meanwhile, your existing team members are getting interrupted constantly to answer questions that should already be documented somewhere accessible. This documentation chaos isn't just annoying. It's actually costing you real money. Consider this. Every minute your team spends searching for information is a minute not spent being productive. Every support ticket that could have been prevented with clear documentation is eating into your resources. Every team member who takes weeks instead of days to get up to speed is slowing down your whole entire operation. The worst part? You know you need better documentation, but every solution you've tried feels like it's created more problems than it solves. Traditional wikis are clunky and outdated. Google Docs become a maze of version control nightmares. The Confluence tool is powerful, but it feels like you need a PhD just to format a simple page. You're stuck between documentation tools that are either too simple to be useful or too complicated to actually use. But here's where things get a little interesting. What if I told you there's a platform that actually gets it? Something designed specifically for teams who need professional documentation without all the headaches. Enter Archbee. Now before you roll your eyes thinking this is just another documentation tool, chill. Hear me out, because this one is totally different. Archbee transforms your scattered documentation chaos into a unified knowledge hub that actually makes sense. Instead of hunting through multiple platforms, everything lives in one place. Your API documentation, your internal processes, your team guidelines, all organized and instantly searchable. But here's what makes it special. It's built by developers for developers, which means it actually understands how technical teams work. Let's talk about what this means for you practically. Remember the new hire who was lost in documentation limbo? With Archbee, they get a clean, organized onboarding experience. No more treasure hunting through old Slack messages. No more bothering teammates with questions that have been answered 100 times before. They can find what they need when they need it, and actually start contributing value instead of consuming it. For your engineering team, Archbee speaks their language. Code snips rendered beautifully. API endpoints are documented with interactive examples. Integration guides actually make sense. Your developers can spend time building instead of explaining the same setup process repeatedly. It's like having a technical writer on your team who never sleeps and always has the most up-to-date information. Support teams absolutely love this transformation too. When your documentation is clear and accessible, customer questions become easier to answer. Better yet, customers can often find answers themselves, which means fewer support tickets and happier users. Your support team goes from being overwhelmed firefighters to strategic problem solvers. This isn't just for big companies either. Startups especially benefit because Archbee lets you create professional looking documentations fast. When you're trying to impress potential customers or investors, having a polished, comprehensive documentation shows you're serious about your product. It's credibility in digital form. The transformation is honestly remarkable. Before Archbee, you've got teams stressed out about missed information, new hirees taking forever to onboard, and everyone wasting time on questions that should have a clear answer. After implementing Archbee, there's a sense of calm that settles over your team. Information is where it should be. Processes are clear. Everyone knows where to look for answers. I've seen teams go from spending hours every week just trying to find information to having their time back and actually doing productive work. The stress levels drop noticeably when people aren't constantly worried about missed crucial details or outdated information. But here's the beautiful part. You don't have to take my word for it. Archbee offers a free trial, and you can literally test this transformation out in minutes. Here's what I want you to do right now. Go to archbees.com and create your free document. Pick something simple, maybe an API endpoint your team uses frequently, or standard operating procedures that currently are buried in email threads. Watch how quickly you can turn scattered information into something clean and professional. The interface is intuitive enough that you won't need training videos or lengthy tutorials. You'll immediately see how different this feels from wrestling with traditional documentation tools. Everything just clicks into place. If you're tired of documentation chaos holding your team back, if you're ready to give your new hirees an onboard experience they can actually appreciate, if you want to transform scattered information into organized knowledge that drives results, then it's time that you try Archbee. Click that link below and see for yourself how different things can be. And hey, drop a comment below if your team has been struggling with documentation chaos. I'd love to hear your stories and how I can help find solutions for you. Trust me, you're not alone in this struggle, but you don't have to stay stuck in it either. See you next time.